Good afternoon. Welcome to the Wesley International School second night of Curious Savage. Yay! I have some news that you probably wouldn't pay attention to. There is a young Mrs. Smith in the audience that is deadly allergic to mobile phone signals, so if you could turn your mobile phones to airplane mode and no flash photography, please. Our cast here has been rehearsing for upwards of 70 hours, so I hope that, you can see how their efforts are going to pay off. My language is not working right now. I'm going to let them show you how well they've rehearsed and the results of that. Okay.
Is there a car still in front, Fairy? I said, is there a car in front?
Oh, Fairy! Florence was speaking to you.
I'm sorry, Florence. I was looking at the firefly. What did you say?
I said, can you see if they've left yet?
I wish I could run it past so you could see in the dark.
I don't think I'll wait for her. I think I'm just going to get a book and go to work.
Does your jaw hurt tonight, Jeff?
Not bad.
Then stay a little longer. We'd like to have you.
Jeff, you've already invested 267 minutes worth in waiting. Surely you can afford an additional 10 cents worth?
All right, my statistical friend. My curiosity is good for 10 minutes more.
I wonder what it's like. Miss Willie said they were the wealthiest families in America.
Oh, that's bad. She'll have an expensive camera that she can't work. Or even about an artist I've never heard of.
Oh, cynic! Has money spoiled to me?
Do you have money, Fairy?
Oh, Belle.
Let us not be prejudiced about money. Some of my best friends are wealthy. Hannibal, play something for us while we're waiting. Help distract Jeff.
Well, you catch me tuned. What shall it be?
Surprise us.
How about a gypsy sardas?
Oh no, please don't play gypsy music, Hannibal! It frightens me.
Frightens you?
Terrifies me. I was stolen by gypsies when I was a child and rescued just as they were about to dye my skin with walnut juice. Well, I was.
Go ahead, Hannibal.
Maybe she likes music. Maybe she plays this music herself. The harp. I hope you play the harp all my life. I'm sorry, Hannibal. Please continue. I was raised on a harp. Water. Like an angel.
Jeff, what are you doing?
I'm just trying to get a book.
Fairy, go help Jeff get the book so we can all listen to Hannibal.
Wait, on the stool.
No, Fairy. I can get it myself.
Climb lunch. Here's this woman's work. Men, not women's. Which book do you want?
The Lifespan of the Ape.
People give the strangest books to this library. I couldn't get into Forbidden Tibet.
It's amazing what studying what people does. Do you know I feel smarter than everyone in the whole world?
Fairy. It's the yellow one.
Books of my blood. My mother rented the final system at the New York Library. She was Queen of Cross Index.
I'll get Jeff's book, Fairy.
No, it's just for
Do be careful, Fairy. Don't get dust in your eyes.
Would you like animal husbandry instead? I can read that.
No. This time it's gotta be the Lifespan of the Ape.
Goose it out with this.
Miss Paddy, some night you're gonna turn out the lights at the wrong time and hurt somebody. Then you'll be sorry. I do wish you'd chosen something else to give up for Lent.
It's unfair to make the rest of us suffer to get you to heaven, Mrs. Paddy.
Other people like electricity.
Now you sit on your easel like a good girl and leave the lights alone.
I must say you startled us, Miss Willie. We thought you were for an alpha.
Why, Fairy, for the love of Pete, what are you up to?
I was just
top shelf. Call me. Why, the whole thing might have fallen on you.
Who has ever heard of anyone being hurt by your books?
Enough of the my darling, and I hate for that to happen.
I hate everything in the world. But most of all, I hate cold cream, hot dogs, codfish, crawfish, catfish, catnip, sheep dip, subways, sewers, skewers, pins, pans, puns, policemen, and electricity.
Who will meet you now, Miss Willie?
I don't know. Let's clear up the place a little bit. Will you put the Parcheesi board away, please, Barry? They're taking an awfully long time in the front office.
Is she young or old, Miss Willie?
All I know is that her name is Savage, and she gets the blue room.
I hope she's very beautiful. Competition is often me.
Well, Bingo, you wore that in a hurry.
Miss Willie, please don't call her that. That's a pet name my wife uses.
I'm sorry.
Miss Willie, please refrain from touching my hair.
Oh, you're the handsome one.
Miss Willie, what would happen if my wife came out that door right now and saw a strange woman touching my hair? She'd explode.
She would, if I knew her.
Just please try to remember.
I'm sorry.
Ting-a-ling-a-ling.
Hello? Yes, Dr. Emmett. Right away. Hannibal, put the dartboard up, please. Let's not clutter the place, darlings. We want to make a good first impression.
Will you meet her now?
I don't know.
You haven't met anyone this excited since the magician's wife, remember? She was all yours when you saw it in half so much. What was her name?
Something hyphenated.
I forget. She colored. My relations are all so drab. Both my parents were albinos.
Really, Barry, you shouldn't have done such things.
But they were emotional albinos.
Oh, Barry, don't peek. It's so degrading to get on your knees.
You do have your knees pray, don't you? I'll say a prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, please help me see something. Amen.
Do you see anything?
Yes, I do. Go quick.
What do you see?
He's only coming out of Dr. Emmett's office.
Who?
1, 2, 3 strange people. That's what we call it.
Is that ethical, Joe?
We know we said
We could just call it espionage.
I'm just catching that smile.
I'll guard the lights, it's rude to them because hands are dry.
This is the last time I'm going to be a party to peeking, Barry. Nearly simply ruins my nylons.
Must get excited. Okay, that was to betray us.
Dr. Emmett will join you in a moment.
Please tell us that she's awesome. I'd like to get started now.
Yes, Madam. Please make yourself.
Well, Titus, what do you think of it now? Are you sure? Someone. It certainly doesn't look like an institution.
Not at all.
But they'll be contented and happy here, I'm sure. It's a charming place. I just hope we haven't made a mistake. Darling, the only mistake we made was not taking steps sooner. I don't like to be thought insensitive, but it might have been better if we left her at home with an attendant. That would have been disastrous.
You're hard.
Some moments we have to
No, you're careless. You're married to me.
Stand up, darling. We've done what had to be done. It's not quarrel, please. Willie Bell's right. This is civilized behavior.
Sorry to have delayed you. I was anxious to have Dr. Johnson question your mother.
This is quite a place you have here, Doctor. It's been a great relief to us to have found it here so cheerful.
But then, you were sure that your place offered the best that money could buy.
We hope we offer the best that experience can provide.
One thing I've been meaning to ask you, Doctor. Mother won't be introduced to any danger, will she?
Of course not. Guests in this wing are in their final stage of treatment. They're extremely kind and cooperative. On the surface, many of them would seem as normal as say yourself, Senator.
You don't say.
While we're waiting, I'd like to ask a few more questions about this memorial fund of your mother's.
There's little more to say. She planned on giving away the entire Savage estate.
The newspaper called it her heaven's fund.
Was this indifference to honor something particularly recent?
I wouldn't say so. She's always given money to foolish causes.
Could you be more specific, please?
It was an Italian farmer wanted a box of soils from Italy.
Just third.
Mother spent $200 to get it from him.
And there was a flower peddler who wanted a tombstone for his horse.
Well, he got it.
After Father died, the succession got progressively worse. Last summer, she chartered a ship to send 1,000 school children around the world. Why?
She said they ought to go around the world, but there's still a world to go around.
We stopped her just as she was on the verge of setting up this fund with Italy.
We
board of directors.
Oh, it's a fantastic board of directors. Not a baker, a bishop, or a lawyer among them.
Who does she choose?
A gardener, a veterinarian, and a postman, and herself.
We should have known her mind was going the day she decided to go on stage.
Oh, that. Have you ever heard of such a thing, Doctor? What might cause a woman of her age to suddenly turn to acting?
The unique is routine. Nothing really surprises us.
If she'd been talented, or even vain, I could have understood her.
But she wasn't. She was quiet, timid even, then suddenly this amazing change.
Drifted.
But why turn to acting? Life has enough drama already.
God knows.
Isn't that right, Doc?
As Judge Savage says, God knows.
And I wish you could explain that bears to us.
Oh, it's obvious exhibitionism.
Exactly.
She took a childish delight in being seen everywhere with that teddy bear.
Anything to indulge a sudden love for notoriety.
Her entire conduct was to try to save dignity and self-respect.
And sounds business.
Can you tell me, Senator, if you really a similar pattern of behavior in what is found in court?
Quite frankly, I don't know.
You see, Doctor, she is now actually a mother. Father remarried and had children.
Oh, I see.
But that hasn't changed our feeling toward her.
Well, I'm afraid I can't give much more thought to you until I've had my time to observe the conduct here.
You're the doctor.
And you know she would come to one such a charming place.
I stayed here myself.
This is no place for laughter, Senator.
Courage, Dr. Beer said, and really think it healthy.
You do.
Of course. It's good quality. For as Byron says, and if I laugh at you, it is the time I don't read.
Of course, of course.
Yes, Miss Belle?
I recognize Doctor, but Dr. Johnson won't be able to complete Mrs. Savage's file for the moment.
Why not?
He finds her a little uncooperative.
Then would you bring her with you?
Yes, Doctor.
While you're saying goodbye, I will go and talk with Dr. Johnson.
Please don't go, Doctor. I think you should stay. The shorter we make this, the better for all parties concerned.
She's vindictive.
For some reason, Doctor, she holds me responsible.
We have to give her some time to get over the resentment.
Will you come in here, Mrs. Savage?
Won't you sit down, Mrs. Savage?
We waited to say goodbye to you, Mother.
I do not like you, Lily Belle. The reason why I cannot tell, but this I know full well. I do not like you, Lily Belle.
She's been chanting that over and over all the way down.
Mrs. Savage, your children are leaving. They would like to say goodbye to you, Mrs. Savage.
The fireflies are out. How lovely. What makes the fireflies light up, Doctor?
I really couldn't say, Mrs. Savage.
Oh, I thought you know, isn't this a bug house?
This is the cloisters. It is to be your home for the while. I am Dr. Emmett.
Wouldn't it be fascinating if fireflies were attracted to shiny things? Lord knows we've got enough wedding rings, Lily Belle.
We might as well go, Titus. She's going to be unpleasant again.
Surely you won't let us live in an atmosphere of bitterness, Mother.
50 needles and 50 pins and 50 dirty Republicans.
She's determined to keep the wrong attitude. Come, Samuel. Time to solve this.
I'll set forth for close down later, Doctor. We couldn't tackle one grip under the circumstances.
Well, Sunday is Visitor's Day, if you would care to settle down then.
My sister is returning to Paris next week, but we will make arrangements.
Miss Wilhelmina is here to take care of you if you need anything, Mrs. Savage.
We will have the garden out there. You'll be able to see it in the morning. You know, when I was a child, we always said, 30 needles and 30 pins. You've added 20 more 30 Republicans.
Well, it's a false line, exaggeration. It's stupid of me to try to irritate them like this. I just irritate myself. Well, I suppose I have to be exasperating out and funny later.
I noticed one of its eyes are gone. It must have dropped off in the front office. I'll look as soon as they go.
Oh, don't bother. It fell at last fall. The operator found out that the usher was so nasty about my lighting matches during the magic fire music. You do know what this is, don't you?
Oh, suppose you tell me?
It's a teddy bear. Surely you've seen one before.
Never one that big.
Do you know what I do with it?
Oh, I couldn't possibly guess.
I sleep with it.
Do you?
Yes, I do. You are going to talk to me as if I were an imbecile too.
Here, you mustn't be hostile.
Well, of course not. haunt me. Well, would you care to know why I sleep with it?
If you care to tell me.
Well, I don't care, but I'll tell you, I get lonely. I'm too old to have a lover and too fastidious to sleep with a cat.
Well then, by all means, you must take it to bed when you hear. Would you care to take off your hat?
Well, if I spend the rest of my life here, I might as well.
It's a mighty soft hat.
A 10-cent piece of felt and 3 chicken feathers. $85. Why economy should be so expensive, I don't know.
Oh, it takes imagination.
And the blood of pirates. But I wanted a hat like this since I was a girl, for all the good it does me now. Well, I suppose you can find a better use for it.
Oh, I think you better keep it. You might need it later.
Dear, dear, my hair looks like the matted end of a coconut.
Oh, I don't think so. It's a heavenly color.
You should have seen it last year. It was bright red, then just to be different, I dyed it black with a white streak in the middle. I looked like nothing so much as a skunk. Finally, I gave up and just tinted it blue. Goes with everything.
Well, it will certainly go with your room. Would you like to go upstairs and get settled?
Is it time to lock me up?
Oh, I never dream of locking you up. Did you bring a suitcase?
My daughter did. I wasn't consulted.
All right, I'll go get it. You can wait here.
No handcuffs?
We have the honor system.
Honor system indeed.
Hello.
Miss Willie says the bars are only there to keep the world outside.
Corny, isn't it? It's hilarious.
Really, Fairy, you must stop frightening yourself.
It won't harm you.
It won't bite.
It won't shed, lay eggs, and bark. It couldn't be less trouble.
In that case, any friend of yours is a friend of mine.
Perhaps we should introduce ourselves. You must be Mrs. Savage. I'm Florence Williams.
How do you do?
We've been expecting you all afternoon. We're so pleased to have you with us. May I introduce Fairy May?
Say you love me.
Oh, but we just met.
You don't have to meet me. I feel like telling anyone so they love me.
Oh, well, I'm sure everyone loves you, my dear.
You see, I told you she'll be spoiled. Welcome to the place, Liz. I'm at best. My government test.
Thank you.
And this is Hannibal. And this is our Mrs. Paddy.
How do you do, Mrs. Paddy?
I hate everything in the world, but most of all, I hate lightning, skunk cabbage, custard, mustard, spiders, mice, bees, keys, ragweed, chloroform, rhubarb, broken glass, gallstones, eel, salt, and thunder.
But why don't you like rhubarb?
Oh, Miss Paddy won't answer you, Mrs. Savage. She'll only recite the things she hates.
Sweet and stubborn.
Miss Paddy stopped talking about 20 years ago.
Why?
Her husband told her to shut up.
And she did.
She gave up conversation for life.
Oh, but she's fully given electricity, so.
Well, you're a woman of wisdom, Mrs. Paddy. There's only one thing wiser than saying very little, and that's saying nothing at all. Would you like to hold it?
She likes you.
I like her.
Oh, but you haven't met Jeff. Come here, Jeff.
Please excuse my left hand.
Certainly isn't toothache.
Jeff's face is scarlet. He likes to spare people.
Oh, well, you don't need to spare me. I have to lick it myself every morning.
Well, it's just Dr. Emmett refuses to let me wear a bandage.
Well, we have to humor our doctors every once in a while.
Oh, well, now you have met everyone. We're a small group in this wing, but we hope you'll find us comfortable to be with.
But Mrs. Savage hasn't met everyone. She's met the Holy Terror.
Of course! How stupid of me!
Where is he, Florence?
Well, he was here a few moments ago. John Thomas!
I think he might have gone out in the hall.
I'll go check. John Thomas!
You won't hurt him, will you?
Oh, gracious, why should I?
Jay, will you?
Well, what is Don Thomas?
Her son! What do you think?
Here?
Yes, he was born here.
I can't. Oh, look. I sleep on the floor. My husband warned me to be a bad mother. You'll excuse me. I have to go put him to bed. He has measles. I do hope you won't catch them. Excuse me.
That was extremely kind of you, Mrs. Savage, not to notice anything wrong.
There wasn't time to explain. You were lightning.
Poor Florence isn't well. We all pretend for her sake. We hope you will too.
Oh, it will.
And I think you should understand right away, Mrs. Savage, that, except for Florence, the rest of us are free to leave here anytime we want to.
Yes, but we don't go, because there's no better place to go.
You're very lucky to be accepted here from you say something. I like to do.
Oh, do be quiet.
Oh, sorry.
What is that?
That rude noise is a signal for us to go to our rooms.
It's the evil of the machine age. Perfect pistons and no manners.
Well, ours not the reason why. You know, I never thought of someone who never quote the first line. It's like someone younger.
Good night.
Don't say that. We don't say that here. It just means no more.
No more of what?
There's no more of so much.
Don't let Jeff's manner disturb you, Mrs. Savage. During the war, his plane was shot down in flames. He hasn't quite recovered yet.
Was he badly burned?
Oh, not at all. Jeff bailed out. But he was the only one. He lost his crew. His real scar isn't anything that can be seen.
I think you should have noticed by now, Mrs. Savage, that me and Hannibal are really guessing if we lose. Of course you couldn't tell that from the others. We pretend to save your time. Oh, Miss Paddy! I knew, of course. I forgot you were still in here. But please, excuse me. If you don't apologize, she'll sulk.
Fairy has the gift of the good for saying the wrong thing.
Well, I should think it would take a bit of doing to apologize to someone who won't talk and sulks anyhow.
Oh, you'll get used to Mrs. Paddy. Just treat her like a clock. Look at her to see how the day goes, but don't expect an answer. She's happy at easel.
Oh, is she an artist?
Well, I don't know whether she's an artist or not, but she paints.
Portraits?
No, seascapes, which is rather odd because she's never seen the ocean.
Oh, Miss Savage, I forgot to warn you. If you go to your room, don't sleep.
What did she mean about not sleeping?
Oh, none of us sleeps here.
Where do you sleep?
We don't. Oh, we go to our rooms. We've all agreed to that in principle, but we stay awake. We never close our eyes. When you go to sleep, today ends. And when today ends, tomorrow begins. Today, we are safe. Tomorrow may be filled with disaster. You won't catch us sleeping here. Could anything be simpler?
Not much.
Today is the only certainty.
Hannibal, you heard the buzzer. Why are you in your room?
I am in spirit, and everyone says it's the spirit that counts. Remember, fight tonight.
Did they all come in to meet you?
Well, there was a Mrs. Paddy and 4 others who have no business being here at their age.
I quite agree.
Do you think I belong here?
Oh, we're on your staff, Mrs. Savage. I'm kept too busy to have any opinions.
I'd like to know what they told you about me.
Was there anything to tell?
Did they mention my memorial fund?
Not to me.
Then they probably said that my husband's death affected my reason.
Oh, that would be interesting to
But
know.
untrue.
Hi, weren't you happy with your husband?
I married Jonathan when I was 16. I loved him from the moment I met him until the moment he died. Do you know what that meant?
I think so.
Well, you don't, my dear. It meant that my only aim in life was to make him happy, to want what he wanted, to anticipate what would please him. And that meant that all other things had to be forgotten.
But surely you had no regrets.
Oh, none while he lived. But after he was gone, I remembered all the foolish things I'd always wanted to do.
Such as dyeing your hair blue.
That, and studying French, and ballet dancing, and people. And as a girl, I was sure I could have been a great actress. So, with no responsibilities and time running out, I decided to be one.
But don't you think you waited too long, Mrs. Savage?
Oh, certainly. Had I been a fool in my youth, my old age.
I'd never think of you as old, Mrs. Savage.
Well, having kicked over the traces myself and learned once again the importance of unimportant things, I decided I'd help others have the foolish things they'd always wanted.
And how are you going to do that?
By establishing the Jonathan Savage Memorial Fund, a foundation in memory of my husband. And that insane idea has brought me here.
Well, you won't find it too unpleasant here.
Well, there's one thing I learned from my French lessons.
What's that?
What I am, a Morte Canard, a dead duck, I think.
Oh, it's not as bad as that.
Oh, yes it is. Someday you'll realize that a great injustice was done me. You'll realize that I was always quite sane. But here I am, and here they'll try to keep me with my few foolish years taken from me. If only people would walk around the edge of the carpet, it would save wearing it out in the middle.
concert for you, Hannibal, if you weren't.
Golden fingertips. I simply surrender to it. Oh, you're red.
Oh, do come in, Mrs. Savage.
I trust you had a pleasant sleepless night.
Lovely, thank you, not a wink.
Oh, no, you've just missed Hannibal's recital.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I heard it, so it brought me out of my room.
You wouldn't believe it, Mrs. Savage, but Hannibal never touched the violin until last year.
What makes you think I wouldn't believe it, my dear? Is it something you composed yourself, Hannibal?
Juan Sebastian Bach, with variations of my own.
Mathematics lost was certainly our game.
Not quite sure I follow that, Fairy.
Oh, Fairy knows I used to be a statistician.
Oh, thank you, now I'm straight.
Do the fractions multiply.
Oh, I'm afraid I wouldn't know whether he was right or wrong.
My last position was with the government, charting trends. I was to keep my finger on the pulse of the public and my ear to the ground.
Rather vulnerable position, is it not?
Fairy, I was fired and replaced with an electronic calculator.
I should think you'd hate electricity, too.
No, but I did want to make money with my brains, so I spent the next few years trying to think of something that could be made for a dime and sold for $1 and was habit-forming. I'm afraid my education was wasted.
I'm going to send John Thomas to Princeton. Their boys aren't very bright, but they're such gentlemen.
Oh, that reminds me. May I ask you a personal question, Mrs. Savage?
They're the only ones worth asking, my dear.
A little bird told us that you used to be an actress. We're bursting with curiosity. Is it true?
Well, if being on the stage makes you an actress, then I guess it's true.
Miss Willie, she's the bird Florence mentioned, said you've been on the New York stage.
I wonder if we've ever seen you, Mrs. Savage?
Oh, not unless you've been quick. Actually, I was only in 2 plays. The first was Belle.
Oh, you're doing it! Oh, blood! I said at times my blood started crossing. They said that.
I should think should be a novel departures later than that, no?
I can't tell you how much I agree with you. They cast me as a witch.
You're a perfect witch.
Why, thank you, dear.
Do some lip talk for us.
Oh, I'm afraid I can't. I didn't have any lines. If I did, it probably would have cost me twice as much.
Cost? Why did it cost you anything?
I backed the show. If I hadn't put up the money, I wouldn't have even been able to play the mute witch.
Was it expensive?
Oh, extremely, but worth it.
What a pity. Weren't you discouraged?
Bitterly. decided I'd write a play and star myself.
You wrote a play?
I did indeed, with the courage born of ignorance and a half-baked plot.
What part did you play then?
Oh, naturally the lead. Not Guilty, starring Ethel P. Savage.
Ethel P. What does the P stand for?
Oh, I haven't the faintest idea. My numerologist said I needed it in my name for luck. He was right. Ran a year.
What was the play about?
It was about a mother who murdered a man and was defended by a young woman lawyer who turns out to be her own daughter. I had red hair and died in my daughter's arms every night and 2 matinees a week, just as the curtain came down and the jury whispered, not guilty. Oh, I've never had a better time in my life.
I gather the notices were good at the time.
Well, they were sincere, but it didn't make a difference.
What did they say?
Oh, the Wall Street Journal was wonderful. It said I brought something new to theater. Money.
Why, really, Fairy? Money isn't new.
But what did Wall Street say?
It said I had tenacious mediocrity unhampered by taste.
But that's not good.
Oh, it was perfect. In our ads, we simply said tenacious and unhampered.
I've read like that for a year.
We'd have been running yet if my daughter hadn't come home and stopped me. Oh, I know I was bad, and audiences only came to laugh at me. But we both had a good time. What more can I ask for? Well, my turn is coming.
I don't think I was very nice to your daughter.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
really is a shame.
Mrs. Savage, please don't do it.
Why, Fairy, what is wrong?
Look, Mrs. Savage is going to the newspaper.
Oh, what's the matter?
I wouldn't do that if I were you, Mrs. Savage.
Please give it to me, Mrs. Savage.
We mustn't read it.
It'll only make you happy.
Now, just a moment. I know what the paper is going to say. I've just been waiting for it to happen.
Waiting for what to happen, Mrs. Savage?
Why, what it says in the newspaper.
We don't know what it says on the paper.
Then why were you trying to keep it from me?
We have an agreement.
We never read the newspaper until at least a month old.
We find we're much happier when we wait.
What are you waiting for?
Why? Naturally waiting for. What do we wait for?
Perspective.
Peace of mind.
Security.
We believe it's better to read unpleasant things a month after it happened.
It's reassuring to know that it's over and nothing can be done about it.
My dear people, there's something important in the paper that I'd like to know now, not next month.
But we're only trying to help you.
Yes.
Disaster's easier to digest after it's aged a little.
Well, I've made my bed and I'd like to know who's in it.
We can't prevent Mrs. Savage from reading the newspaper if she insists. We don't know her well enough to be rude.
Florence is right.
Well, if you need anything unpleasant, don't tell us.
No!
If there's trouble in this world, it won't help us to know about it.
This is yesterday's paper. I want today's paper. When does it come?
I don't know.
Is there a radio here?
Yes, over there. Somewhere.
Maybe I can catch the news. Why did anyone say there was a radio here?
Because you didn't ask us.
This doesn't light up. Is something wrong with the set?
I don't think so. Of course, it has many tubes.
Has it any what?
Tubes. Miss Paddy steals them. She hates electricity, you know.
And we don't know where it is.
Why didn't you say the set hadn't any tubes?
Because you didn't ask us.
Oh, dear, dear, dear. How high is that wall?
Oh, much too high.
Easily 10 chairs high.
And I suppose no one ever leaves that great gate open?
Don't look beyond the garden, Mrs. Savage. There may be a better place somewhere. But if you look for it, you may not find it and lose what you have.
You'll like it here. After a while.
Except in January. The roots get a little old.
We like you already.
It isn't that I don't find you enchanting. It's just
You what?
Please do say anything to me.
We have to go, Mrs. Savage.
Oh, but where?
It's garden hour.
We each have a little plot and we plant things. You can plant anything you wish, vegetables or flowers.
Last year I planted birdseed just so it would come up.
What did come up, Fairy?
Nothing. But it was a rich horticultural experience.
Oh, there's a beautiful evergreen in the center. At Christmas Christmas, it has lights on it saying, Merry Christmas, keep out.
Come with us, Mrs. Savage. I'll show you my Delphiniums.
Oh, well, thank you very much, my dear, but I think I'd like to do a bit of thinking. I'll just stay here.
But the buzzer buzz. One has to obey orders.
May I ask why you're doing that, Mrs. Savage?
I believe in wearing out the carpet evenly.
Oh, how prudent. Uncle will help you.
Oh, but don't you have to guard it, my dear.
Much more constructive.
I'd like to join too. It seems like fun.
Come on, everybody. Let's walk on the carpet.
Why not? It's a refreshing change. Most women lead us in circles.
We're out behind you, Mrs. Savage.
Oh, I feel like the Pied Piper.
Jeff, use upon thorns, Hannibal on thistles, Florence on roses. You know what we're doing, Mrs. Willie?
Wearing up the carpet evenly.
Oh, somebody told you.
Didn't I hear the buzzer ring garden hour?
I didn't hear it. I think it's broken.
Fairy, aren't you ashamed of yourself?
I wish I were dead.
Oh, Miss Willie, I'm afraid this is my fault.
I didn't feel like gardening anyhow. But you worked so hard on your flowers. Do you want them to die, Florence? I don't want anything to die!
That's very true. Florence looks like a fly. She catches them, puts them in the window, flies into order.
I think we'd all better go outside and work in the garden. Fairy, will you share your seat to Mrs. Savage, please? Run along now.
No.
Aren't you going to join them, Mrs. Savage?
I wanted to speak to you alone.
Well, all right then. What can I do for you?
A great deal, and it might be that I can do a great deal for you too.
Are you about to offer me a bribe, Mrs. Savage?
How did you guess?
Everyone does, at first.
Well, my offer's a little different. I have the money. I'll give you 20,000 to leave that door open tonight. 30,000?
Don't you like us, Mrs. Savage?
That's the most irritating answer to a soundless proposal, my dear. 40,000? You could be free of this place too.
But I don't want to be free of this place.
Oh, 50,000? You could see the world. Cairo, Mandalay, the South Pacific.
But I have seen the world. Cairo, Mandalay, and the South Pacific.
You have?
I spent 4 years as an army nurse.
Well, surely you could find some use to $50,000.
$50,000? That's a fortune, Mrs. Savage. Now where would you find that kind of money?
Oh, never mind. I could get it. In the current idiom, 50,000 is peanuts.
Oh, I believe you. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to refuse.
Then you leave me no choice but to burn the place down.
Oh, you wouldn't do that.
Oh, yes, I would.
People here who do not know how to take care of themselves. You think of them first.
If you believe I belong here, then why are you appealing to my reason?
I wasn't. I was appealing to your emotions.
Well, I'm going to get out of here quick enough. It's just that bribing you would have been cheap. Now it cost me a couple million at the least.
Good morning, Doctor. Good morning. Is Mrs. Savage downstairs?
She just this minute went out to the garden.
What is your state of mind this morning?
The usual pattern. She's already offered me a bribe.
And what did she offer?
The highest yet, 50,000. Poor dear.
Did she sound confident?
Definitely, Nana. She acts as if she still controlled her own affairs.
Apparently she does. Read this. I've just been talking to her children. They're practically out of their minds themselves. The senator is leaving Washington at once. He'll pick up his sister in New York and the judge in Boston and be here by tonight.
This is the most amazing story I've ever read. When did you discover it?
I gathered this morning. They've asked me to confine her to her room.
But how could she have gotten away with so much money?
Apparently her husband left the estate to her, and she has been secretly throwing out control ever since.
$10 million? That's got to be a typographical error.
No, they had it correct.
But what could she have done with the money?
As her son says, God knows.
Could she have spent it?
I doubt it. Would you call her in here, please? I'd better tell her what to expect.
Yes, Doctor. Oh, Mrs. Savage, will you come in here, please? Dr. Emmett wants to speak to you. Are you going to place her in seclusion?
Of course not. But sometimes I wish there was a way of placing relations in seclusion. They're always much more trouble than the patients themselves.
Do you think she could have spent the money?
I doubt it.
Do you think there's a method in her madness?
Miss Willie, I find it harder every day to say where exactly reason ends and madness begins. But for the moment, I must accept the presumptive evidence of her stepchildren.
Well, from what I've heard, her son's record progress would give any good psychiatrist in the master training.
And the sensationalism in her daughter's 6 divorces doesn't speak too well for her emotional stability either.
Would you want me, Doctor?
Yes, just a moment. Would you hold that on the switchboard this way when your husband delivers the calls from the papers?
Yes.
Would you please sit down, Mrs. Savage?
I see you have the morning papers. I wondered how long it would take them to find out.
Then you're aware of just what you've done and the consequences.
Oh, it's too early for consequences. May I see it?
The senator phoned from Washington. We can expect them by tonight.
Indeed we can. Well, I'm not going anyplace.
How could you possibly spend $10 million without someone knowing about it?
Who said I spent it?
That paper says you did.
Oh, I couldn't have spent it. I hid it.
You hid it.
I did indeed. In nice $500,000 bonds that can't be traced. Why don't I ask you what you do with your money, Doctor?
I'm sorry this has happened, Mrs. Savage, but I'm afraid your hidden treasure is going to prove a great disadvantage to you.
That's because you're a doctor. Doctors have no value of money.
Would you like to know just how long it would take me to earn that much money, Mrs. Savage?
Excuse me, I came to get my violin. Fairy May wants music while she plants her seeds.
Just
Sorry.
a moment, Hannibal. You were a statistician. How long would it take the average doctor to earn $10 million?
Well, he'd have to start before Christ was born and work from the burning of Rome up to the burning of St. Juan and Savonarola, with time off, of course, for the Norman Conquest, the Crusades, the 100 Years' War, the 30 Years' War, and the 7 Years' War. So he'd have to work double time during the discovery of America, up to penicillin and bubblegum. But that's without deducting federal tax, state tax, city tax, school tax, luxury tax, and amusement tax. You'd add an extra 100 years for that.
Thank you, Hannibal. It is a great deal that you're responsible for, Mrs. Savage.
Now, what's the doctor up to?
A bit of emotional blackmail, I suspect. Hannibal, wouldn't you guess to look at me that I'm worth $10 million on the hook?
Never. The human body has only 20 cents worth of calcium in it, 5 cents worth of iodine, and 20 cents worth of phosphorus. So even at present high prices, nobody's worth over $1.50.
So you value me at only $1.50?
Never. You said worth. Your value is inestimable.
Oh, Hannibal, I like you. I like you very much. You make me feel important. You make me feel like dancing.
Splendid. What shall I play?
Oh, anything.
I'm very good on Flight of the Bumblebee.
Oh, could anything be more appropriate? The bees come home to find the honey gone. Someone is going to be stung. Play, Hannibal. What's the matter with you, May?
Nothing. It's just that nobody said they loved me this little day.
Why, yes, they have.
Oh, no, they haven't. I can believe.
I heard Florence say it at the dinner table.
Did she?
She said, "Don't eat too fast, Fairy."
What does that say when she loves me?
Of course, people say it all kinds of ways. They say it when they say, "Hurry back," or "Take an umbrella, it's raining," or "Watch out, you'll break your neck." There's hundreds of ways of wording it, my dear.
My dentist said I conclusion. You think he was telling me he loved me?
What else? Why, the first day I met my husband, I was riding horseback and he said I had good form. I knew immediately he loved me.
Oh, thank you. After missing out on so much, my dentist loves me.
Could I help you with anything else, my dear?
No, sorry for disturbing you. Thank you.
Mrs. Savage,
Yes.
I'm keeping score and the boys won't help me. What's 7 and 5 and 4?
49.
But Mrs. Savage!
It's my own system, Hannibal. I refuse to submit to the tyranny of mathematics.
Then I win.
I'll keep score after this.
Mrs. Savage,
Yes.
there's one thing clear for me. How is it already Sunday again if it was only Sunday yesterday?
Why do you think it's Sunday?
If your children are coming to you, it must be Sunday because Sunday is Visitor's Day. I must have been very good this week.
Well, it isn't Sunday, my dear. My brood are coming back because they couldn't wait a week.
That should make you happy.
It should, but it doesn't.
Excuse me, don't you like them?
Oh, of course not.
Oh, I think that's a wicked thing to say.
Well, we have to be wicked every once in a while to gain God's attention. But if it insults you, Florence, they were not my own. My husband was left with 3 small children.
But you must have liked them when they were little.
Oh, I wanted to make them my own, desperately. But every time I put my arms around Willie Belle, she bit me, and she bit me until she was 10.
That must have made you very strong.
What stopped her at the exact age of 10?
I suppose at 10 a girl begins to consider her teeth.
But the boys are always so much better.
Oh, not always. Every time I tried to correct them, they'd break something I treasured just to get even with me. It was a happy day when they went away to school.
School must have taught them something.
Yes, French. After that, whenever they came home, they spoke nothing but French, so I couldn't understand them. And I haven't been able to understand them since.
But you must be proud of them now. The senator is quite famous, isn't he?
That he is. I've heard he gets more threatening telegrams than any other man in Congress. I've heard of the Western Union lists him as a tangible asset.
But if he's so unpopular, then why do voters keep sending him back to Washington?
Oh, it's the only way to keep him out of the state.
Oh, but the other son's a judge, isn't he?
That's distinction.
Oh, he's made it one. He has the distinction of having had more of his decisions reversed than any man in jurisprudence.
Is it daughter pretty, Mrs. Savage?
Oh, well, there's a picture of her in the paper.
Oh, we don't look at the paper, Mrs. Savage.
Oh, I won't read you anything. I'll just show you the picture.
Oh, we don't even look at pictures.
People are always pinned under trucks.
I'll peek first to make sure it isn't horrible.
Even I would say it's horrible.
Oh my goodness, she's a queen. She's wearing a crown.
That's a tiara, Fairy. It's a picture taken from when she was married to her Slovak prince.
Let's just take a quick look at him, just to be glad.
Then she's a princess.
Oh no, she discarded the prince a good 6 husbands ago.
But why?
Hell hath no music like a woman playing second fiddle.
But you get the tiara.
Oh, indeed, I suspect she sleeps in it.
I don't know when I've seen a prettier tiara.
The dress is cut rather low, isn't it?
I might like Lexus and mean to her.
Why, Fairy!
I don't mean really mean. Something like putting her picture in the dartboard and throwing darts at it.
Very!
That's perfect. We'll do just that.
Oh, you wouldn't!
Oh, I need exercise, my dear.
Fairy, you're an evil girl to think of such a thing.
Don't talk to me like that. Sensitive.
Don't bother her, Florence. I'm the culprit. Now, let's see. What can I pin it up with?
Paddy's don't tax.
Oh, Fairy, I'm so disappointed in you.
I wish I'd died in freedom.
Oh, Mrs. Paddy, that's the loveliest escape I've ever seen. Do you know I can even smell the ocean? I think your genius lies in your simplicity. You challenge the imagination. Now, could I borrow a 4 thumbtacks?
bad example for motherhood.
Don't you like surprises, Florence?
Yes.
Well, I intend to surprise Lily Belle. All right. Target for tonight. Closer to a tiara.
Oh,
Everyone to the upstairs study. Mrs. Savage's visitors are here.
May I stand up, Miss Willie? We never take people anymore.
I'm sorry, Carrie, but the senator insisted on practicing.
Someday when I'm ordered out, I'm going to go up without saying a word. I have as much pride as anyone.
All the way upstairs.
How's the weather out there?
Stormy. I'll leave the lunch off and meet the home desk.
That would be all. You can wait outside.
I don't know what to say to you, Mother. For the life of me, I don't know what to say.
Like people say good evening.
Deception is so unlike you.
I'm just hurt.
Have you any idea of the absolute enormity of what you've done? You sold control of 15 Savage Industries.
We'll have to sell our stock in Savage Brass to buy it back.
Oh, didn't you find out? I sold that first.
I mustn't get excited. I mustn't get excited. I get lines.
What else did you dispose of?
Everything in my name.
We're ruined. But the money, you couldn't have spent it.
Tell us what you did with it, dear.
I forget.
Oh, Lord, grant my mother one more moment of clarity.
Where did you bury it? Concentrate.
Best thing in the world for long lines up the face, Lily Belle. Oh man, I really do need to get you a new eye, my dear. Do you know any place that sells Bear's eyes, Lily Belle?
Do that stupid thing and answer us.
Miss Willie, help!
Lily Belle, wait, you're just antagonizing her. We'll get nowhere shouting and fighting amongst ourselves.
I'm sorry, Hannibal. Hold your beer. You forget the ear. Sit.
What we must make you understand is that it's not so much the money involved that concerns us, so much as the disgrace of it all.
Ah!
What happened?
She bit me!
Nonsense. Whatever mother might, she wouldn't descend to biting.
If ever there was a wasp, it's the one we call Mother. I know what I did.
There's no need to raise your voice.
Of course it hurts!
Lily Belle, stop it. We can't afford fighting and shouting amongst ourselves.
You can't afford anything.
We simply refuse to be angry with you, Mother. Lily Belle, apologize.
I would not.
Lily Belle.
Mother, it's quite all right. I don't object to your biting me. Gnaw and mangle me to the bone. Gum me to your heart's content. Only tell us what you did with our money.
My money. You've had your share.
The estate is ours. It's belonged to the Savage family for generations.
8 generations.
It's unthinkable that you might be the first Savage found wanting.
Found wanting what?
The Savage pride. Now, I want you to listen carefully to what I have to say. The estate has always been a sacred trust. We've never considered ourselves possessors of a great fortune so much as custodians of wealth.
Oh!
What happened?
Look! I just got a good look. She's been throwing darts at my picture.
What of it? That can't possibly hurt you.
It's a vicarious form of murdering someone. It's just the most vicious sort of voodoo magic known to science.
We're losing ground.
We were fostered by a werewolf, every savage son of us.
My patience is exhausted. What did you do with the money?
I told you. I buried it.
Where? Unless you tell us at once, you're being sent to a public institution. We will not tolerate such criminal waste.
Oh, you've got me in such a state I can't think. I haven't a brain in my head anyhow. You've told me time and again.
No.
Oh, with all this shouting, I have a headache. I can't remember a thing.
What do you mean you can't remember a thing? Of course you can.
I can't. My head is pounding.
You better be careful
there anything we can get for you?
Well, there are those powders I used to take.
Where are they?
I'm out of them.
We'll get more.
Will you?
Of course.
Oh, well. Here's my prescription notice from my druggist in Boston.
You mean drive all the way back to Boston?
Where is everyone?
Are you ill?
Titus, this is dangerous. We better get those powders and come back in the morning. We won't accomplish anything tonight.
I agree with you. Get the prescription filled.
Get it filled, Sarah. When we get back from our exit day.
Are you prepared to tell us what you've done with those bonds in the morning?
Pound, pound, pound.
Oh, I'll tell you. We're ready. Samuel, what's my end in then? Well, we better go then. I'll have Dr. Emmett give her a sedative.
Willie, Belle,
What do you mean by psst?
close the door. I have something important to tell you about the bonds.
Well,
I wanted to tell you and you alone where I hid them.
why me?
Titus and Sam, they're fools. If anything happened to me overnight, the bonds would be lost.
It was Titus who wanted to hear, not I. Where did you hide them?
Well, where would you hide $10 million if you didn't trust banks?
I don't know.
Under a rock?
Of course not.
Well, you'd probably hide them under your mattress. You're never far from your mattress, but if you were and the house burned down...
Are you going to tell me or not?
Do you remember the Museum of Natural History?
No.
Well, on the third floor in the Department of Ichthyology, to the left, with two dusty wires is a big porpoise.
Well,
I stuffed my bonds in that stuffed fish when no one was looking.
I don't believe you.
Made me a safer place.
Only a fool would do such a thing.
Well, that's me.
How did you get a package of bonds inside a porpoise?
Easy. Razor blade and scotch tape.
How do I know you're telling me the truth?
There's one way to find out.
You must think I'm very gullible. I have no intention of hunting inside a stuffed fish.
Lily Bell, are we to hold the car all night for you? Samuel, let's honk it.
Oh, let him honk.
Dr. Emmett will see you in a minute.
Titus,
Yes?
kissing goodbye.
You bit Lily Bell. I don't trust you.
Well, that's ironical because I trust you. I was about to tell you where the bonds are hidden.
Surely you know Lily Bell wanted you here, not me.
Then I'll tell you. The bonds are in a tin box.
Where?
Do you remember when I went to Washington with a group from Actors Equity?
No.
Well, I do. It was National Ethel Week, and we all went with the First Lady. There was Ethel Merman, Ethel Barrymore, Ethel Waters.
What are you talking about?
My bonds are buried in the President's hothouse.
I don't believe you.
You didn't believe Pearl Harbor until you investigated.
Why would you choose such a public place, everybody in and out?
Well, not very bright.
I'm the only person who can't get into the White House.
You should agree with him oftener.
How do I know you didn't imagine this?
There's one way to find out. Dig.
I don't believe you. You didn't bury the bonds there.
In the corner, under the petunias.
Titus, unless you hurry, Samuel is going off without us.
I'm coming, and I refuse to believe you.
Wait, listen, we're horrible. We're really ashamed.
And we all wish we were dead.
Oh, we wanted to stop listening and sneak away, but we couldn't do it without making too much noise.
Oh, well, it's quite all right. If you read the papers, you'd know.
Did you really hide all that money?
I did it for my memorial fund.
And now you're giving it back.
You're very generous for your size and weight.
Oh, but you didn't tell the judge where his share was.
Oh, I did. That prescription note was really a note saying to dig under the chimney.
But why did you hide it if you were going to tell them what it was?
Oh, what makes you think I was going to tell them where it was?
We heard you.
Oh, no. I lied.
Did?
Oh, of course.
Nothing makes the truth so shabby as munificent law splendid.
How do you know they believe you?
Oh, they want to believe me.
Oh, they might consider it degrading to go out digging.
Oh, but they will.
But how can you be sure?
Oh, well, there are a million things a man won't do for $5, but there aren't 5 things a man won't do for $1 million. All right, time for round 2.
They'll dig.
I thought I was alone.
Well, I didn't know you could play the piano.
Yeah, I only play when I'm alone.
Oh, you shouldn't be so shy. No one's going to compare you to a professional.
Oh, but I am a professional.
Oh.
I played in the town hall just a week before the war. Jeffrey Meredith, you see?
Oh, White says you were wonderful, Jeff. Forgive me, I should have known.
Yes, I was going to appear with the Philharmonics. I didn't, but I had the contract to prove that I did.
Oh, please go on. I'd love to hear you.
No, I really don't like to be stared at.
Oh, well, I'll look the other way.
No, Miss Savage, please don't insist.
Oh, I won't.
Mrs. Savage, can I tell you something?
Well, I can only keep a secret about 10 minutes.
Well, it's just, Dr. Emmett isn't a real doctor at all.
Oh, well, what is he?
He's a patient, just like Mrs. Paddy.
Do you think so?
Well, for 5 years now, he's promised to give me a new face, and he didn't.
Oh, well, it says on his office door that he's a doctor. He wouldn't lie.
Wait, but do you believe a man is what he claims to be?
Well, I'm a trusting soul. I try to make the best of people.
It's best to believe the worst, because if you believe the worst, then that's half bad at best. And the best is no worse than expected, so it's best to believe the worst.
Oh, Jeffrey, that's just obscure enough to be profound. What does it mean?
Well, when man says he is wise, then he is a fool. But if a man says he's a fool, then surely you'll believe him.
Only a fool claims to be wise.
Oh, which I'm right. Dr. Emmett is a fool. For 5 years now, I've been waiting for him to fix my face, but...
Some things take a long time to heal, Jeffrey.
I can't wait much longer. I'm going to be 26 soon.
And that's ancient. Why don't you give your audiences a chance to listen and be kind?
Audience? Look at me and tell me the audience wouldn't shudder at the sight of me.
I see nothing to hide.
Dr. Emmett told you to say that.
No, he didn't. But if I were you, I would trust him. Give him a little more time.
All right. I'll give him 5 more years.
Fair enough.
Do you want to know something else?
Of course, I'm awed only by the magnitude of what I do not know.
Hold on. Hannibal can't play the violin.
No.
Yes.
Well, of course, I'm tone deaf.
Yes, I want to be tone deaf too.
Oh, you're sweet. You don't even pretend.
It's just... Hannibal can't play the violin, yet he does. I can play the piano, yet I don't. Don't you see how ironic that is?
Yes, quite ironic.
Mrs. Savage, quickly get on the chair. This mouse in the hall messes me. It's a rat.
You know there's no rat in the hall. Really, Fairy, you put me right off my coffee.
Mrs. Savage,
just knows no Ryan Hollow. She's bored here and I intend to make life interesting.
Thank you, Fairy. You'll be happy to know that I just aged 50 years. That puts me well over the 100 mark.
Doing lots of a birthday party. How many candles?
You'll sit quietly and drink your coffee.
Oh dear, I ate too much again.
You shouldn't exercise right after your meal, Hannibal.
I know, but if I don't, my conscience won't heal me.
Miss Willie, have there been any calls or messages from the village today?
Not that I know of.
Well, could you get tonight's newspaper for me?
Well, if you pour the coffee, I'll ask Dr. Emmett.
Gladly.
Here you are, Bingo.
But Florence hasn't been served yet.
Don't stand on manners, Jeff. Miss Willie knows just how you like your coffee. I'll get my own.
Very well.
You're annoyed.
Of course I am. Single me out. I don't like that.
Jeff, I'm so tired tonight. You have to forgive me.
It's all right. I forget too sometimes.
Here on the wall. Who's the most beautiful of them all? Fairy who?
Cream in your coffee, Fairy.
Please. Do you think this dress is anything for me? I hate myself.
It's a sheer delight. Sugar?
5. There wasn't a finished yet. I put it together with pennies.
Hannibal? A coffee?
No, thank you.
Would you like to know something that makes that exercise more enjoyable, Hannibal?
An enjoyable way of losing weight has yet to be invented.
Oh, well, it only takes a deck of cards.
I went to a fortune teller when I was 14. Everything you told me turned out wrong. I never believed in cards after that.
Very.
Well, here, would you like me to show you?
Okay.
You throw them up in the air and then pick them up one by one.
Oh, I like mine. It's tiny.
I learned it in a beauty course.
Thank you, Mrs. Savage. It's a great improvement.
Wouldn't it be easier to pick them up sideways?
Much. Man was made all wrong. His stomach should be in back. When he bends, it's in the way. When he kneels, his legs buckle instead of folding neatly behind him. And why should his nose be in the front? It only gets in the way when he kisses.
Oh, you're so frank.
I guess God was in a hurry.
Well, Hannibal, what are we doing now?
We are losing weight.
Would you kindly postpone it for a little while? I will speak to Mrs. Savage. Would you all go upstairs to the study for a few minutes? Florence, could you please take the coffee up with you?
Oh, I do hate having coffee upstairs. It's so middle class. Where is John Thomas?
Florence, I remember you putting on photograph.
Oh, yes. He adores the classics.
Upstairs, downstairs, till a little street. May I say Dr. Emmett?
No, you may not. Miss Willie tells me you seem anxious to see the evening's papers. Why?
Habit.
Well, here they are. It will undoubtedly please you to know you've caused considerable trouble yet again.
Have I? Oh, Titus on the front page. Senator trapped in White House hothouse.
I've just been talking to him. He's exceedingly angry.
Imagine pulling up all those petunias.
You must realize that as a result of this, your position here has deteriorated considerably.
Oh, and my disposition has blossomed enormously. Anything about Samuel?
The Boston Post.
Oh, poor Samuel, all those bricks right on top of him. Chimney collapses on Boston tourist. Well, for some people it takes a ton of bricks, you know.
How could they have possibly believed you?
Well, they should be committed, shouldn't they? Anything about Willie Belle?
Your batting average for mischief is 100%, Mrs. Savage.
Oh, this picture would frighten even Fairy.
According to this, she's resisted arrest.
Indeed she has. It says, female vandal invades museum. Berserk heiress fights police. They really are fools, aren't they?
What did you hope to gain, Mrs. Savage?
Better terms.
For your freedom.
For my memorial fund.
Your children will that money can be put to better use.
Well, of course they do. Lily Belle spent over $1 million on her 6 husbands. Titus and Samuel spend just as much securing jobs to which they have no right. Is that better use?
They do consider your memorial fund much unorthodox.
Well, that's absurd. There are plenty of charities for foolish people in desperate need, but none for people with a desperate need to be foolish.
And what brought you to that conclusion?
My own life. I realize that no matter what we have, we never forget the foolish things we always wanted. You know, if Hannibal had gotten a violin when he wanted one, I'm sure he wouldn't need one now.
That's quite possible.
Well, I want my husband to be remembered with warmth and gratitude for a few foolish dreams. I will not give a memorial to him.
I would like to discuss this with you further, but at the moment, you have visitors waiting. You may come in now, Senator. I'll be just outside, if you want me.
My headache's gone.
How dare you make a fool of me? How dare you?
You tried to kill me. If I started pulling bricks,
We're really not a very bright family, are we?
You must be proud indeed to see the name of Savage held up to ridicule again.
Did you dig, Titus?
8 FBI men jumped him. They thought I was planting a bomb.
Why didn't you tell the papers the truth? I did. Sleepwalking, really?
You try to make an excuse with 8 men on your chest.
She loved the chance.
It was learned today that the senator's mother, Miss Ethel P. Savage, the actress, was recently committed for irresponsible actions. Opposition leaders were quick to point out that this may explain the career of strange behavior in Congress by the senator. Do you know what this does to me politically?
Yes, it makes you more canard than French, remember?
I'll never live through this. Never.
They treated me like a common criminal. I was fingerprinted.
Oh, I didn't mean to ask you, Lily Belle, what is in stuff corpus?
Do you know what the papers call us now?
the mad savages.
How do you like it?
What happened to those bombs?
What happened to your dignity?
Where is my money?
Where is your self-respect?
May I ask what you intend to do now?
Would you care to listen to my terms, or would you like to take in Grant's too?
We're prepared to compromise.
Compromise is the right word. It means listening to my terms.
I would consider effecting your release for a period of time under the custody of someone. It would look better.
And I'd be willing to give her complete freedom if she'd give up acting and lead a dignified life.
Freedom, as Titus can tell you, is the right to make the wrong choice.
And what would we hear?
Well, that's what I'd like about you, Titus. You're reasonable. I will each give you a reasonable yearly allowance.
Oh, how reasonable?
I shall be generous, but the bulk of my estate must be given to the fund.
It's completely bad.
We might have the commitment vote, only to have you play another trick on us. Where would we be then?
Where are you now?
Get it over with, Titus.
Very well. Write a retraction letter, Samuel.
When I'm released, this will come into full effect. Just don't have me followed.
Titus, wait a minute.
What is it?
I found the answer on the cover of this medical journal.
What does it say?
A way to avoid a compromise, but I have to see Dr. Emmett first.
Lily Belle, aren't you going to sign that petition?
Titus, don't sign anything until I get back.
Lily Belle. What could she have read?
If you listen to her, you'll end up without a cent.
Well, I do. Finish it. Lily Belle's gotten us into trouble enough.
How many T's is the commitment?
3.
2.
Doesn't it, but...
Give me that. All it has to say is that the commitment was ill-advised and requests release. Will that satisfy you?
It will when you sign it.
Very well. Sign it, Samuel.
What are you doing?
Signing the petition. Sign it, Lily Belle.
This isn't necessary.
You'll regret this.
Lily Belle, you have no right to act without consulting us.
Be back.
Read Read what?
The article on sodium pentothal. It's... Perhaps I better let Dr. Emmett explain. Will you tell me what sodium pentothal does, Doctor?
It is generally used in cases of shock. It removes tension and releases inhibitions and makes patients receptive to suggestion.
It's called the truth scale.
It's not quite accurate, however,
But it's influence the patient answers truthfully, isn't that so?
if they answer at all.
Now, do you understand?
Doctor, I order you to get some of this truth drug at once and administer it to my mother.
Do you want me, Doctor?
Yes, just a moment.
Don't I have any rights at all, Doctor?
May I say something, Doctor? Surely you're not going to listen to these people. It's a flagrant misuse of science.
Mrs. Savage, if I refuse, your guardians are quite within their legal right to remove you from my authority, and I am under no illusion that they will find the means of subjecting you to the influence of sodium pentothal elsewhere.
Then let someone else be responsible, Doctor.
$10 million hidden from use. It does no one any good, least of all you. It remains an ever-present symptom of psychotic thinking. This is your chance to prove you are capable of making a rational decision. Intelligent minds recognize defeat, Mrs. Savage.
Well, let it be known that I was not forced to my knees by science. I will tell you where the bonds are written.
Wait! We've come to rescue! It's not too late!
Oh, we'll stand by you, Mrs. Savage.
Take you, and you. Dr. Emmett, who are these people?
These are my friends.
Weren't you just to stay upstairs, Hannibal?
I want to protest, Doctor.
And what gives you the right to protest, sir? This doesn't concern you.
Well, my dear pupils, I'm sure you must have heard Dr. Emmett hasn't much choice.
What will you do, Mrs. Savage?
I'll tell them where the bonds are hidden.
I think you've made the right choice, Mrs. Savage.
Will you tell us or not?
I'm going to show you. We are going to show you.
You'll hurt it.
Here's your treasure.
My God, share the worst of all the time.
Just a moment.
Someone turned those lights on! What happened to those lights?
One of our patients turned them off. She despises electricity.
Oh, where's Hannibal?
She's disappeared.
Oh my gracious, what are you doing down there? Somebody pushed.
I didn't do it. I wasn't near enough.
The bonds! They're gone! Gone? What did you do with them?
You saw me. I put them on the table.
Then where are they?
Excuse me, Your Senatorness. I'd say that Miss Paddy has them. It seems clear to me that she turned off the lights, took the bonds, and ran.
Miss Willie, get all guards to lock off the wards. Please go search the basement before Mrs. Paddy eats them.
I can't bear it. I simply can't bear it. I'm going to pieces.
Oh, this will calm you down. Would you like to try it?
Oh, darling Mrs. Penn. Come on, girls. Let's go for a walk.
Why? This is simply a madhouse!
Yes, Mr. Levito. Good. 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 Thank you.
Well,
All the wards have been locked off and Miss Willie is searching the basement now.
but did she find that woman?
Not yet.
Then what on earth is the good about?
We are taking every possible precaution, Senator.
That maniac has $10 million worth of negotiable bonds. If they're not found, they can't be replaced.
What was she do us though, Doctor?
Oh, she'll probably. I'm not sure, but we're going to find them. It just may take some time.
Years, probably.
They were right in front of us, within our grasp.
Why didn't you stop her? I didn't know the lights were going out.
It's quite possible Mrs. Paddy didn't take them at all.
Of course she did. No one else could have taken them.
You could have.
Billy Belle was 10 feet away from the table.
Well, we all know that she's quick when it comes to money. Who knows, she could have stuffed them down in front. She has enough time. Why aren't you checking her?
You did it.
Can't you see she's trying to make us suspect each other?
Well, someone else could have taken them. You were close to the table when the lights went out.
He was right beside it.
What do you have to say?
I didn't take them. I don't like bonds.
Oh, look, the Queen of Spades. Someone's gonna die.
Doctor Emmett, must we have these people here?
Get them out of here. No. Don't let anyone out of our sight till he's searched.
Everybody off with his clothes.
Thank you. Yep, Fairy, just a moment. Mrs. Savage, please do not make this any more difficult than you already have.
And for heaven's sake, do something about this man's tossing cards in the air.
Hannibal.
Hannibal's on edge.
Don't.
Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. I hear you're in love with Eliana. Please sleep in it.
Oh, sit down, unattractive creature. I've had quite enough.
I don't like you.
Fairy, can you please come and sit quietly while we wait?
Very good.
Fairy.
Well, Mrs. Paddy, you have the entire staff searching for you.
Stop her. Don't let her get away.
I think you'd better join us, Mrs. Paddy. We'd like to talk to you.
Now we'll get to the bottom of this. Madam, hand over those bonds.
You'd better let me question her, Senator. She won't respond to you.
Oh, yes, she
Oh,
will.
no, she won't.
We'll just see about that then. Well, madam, what have you to say for yourself?
I hate everything in the world. Most of all, I hate revolving doors, cups of doors, fights, fuzz, fleas, prickly heat, pills, pots, pans, butts, germs, pachyderms, and politicians.
What does she mean?
Weren't you listening?
Did you hear what I asked you?
There is no need to shout at Mrs. Paddy, Senator. She hears you well enough, but she isn't going to respond. She hasn't answered a question in 20 years.
Don't play any tricks on me, madam.
Don't make her mad, Titus. She carries a knife.
Mrs. Savage, please. Mrs. Paddy does not carry a knife. She is very hostile, but quite harmless. Now, please, would you be kind enough to yield the floor to me, Senator?
Very well, but I want to hear her talk.
So do we all.
Now, Mrs. Paddy, this is quite important. I want you to not yet answer the question I'm about to ask you, okay? Do you remember, did you take some bonds on the table a few minutes ago?
She did and she didn't.
This is exciting. We're going to open the door to our body for
Mrs. Paddy, look at me. Do you remember turning the lights out? Yes, you do. And a little bundle of papers on the table. Please, try to remember. Think.
Dr. Emmett, I found them.
Hand those over.
But Senator.
I'll take charge of these.
Oh, look! Radio tubes!
You said you found the bonds.
I said no such thing.
Where did you find them, Miss Willie?
I found them in the hot air duct in the fairies room.
I told you I was cold up with drink. You wouldn't believe me.
Dr. Emmett, I hold you completely responsible for all of this mess.
What would you suggest that I do?
Search that woman. She may have them hidden on her person.
I'm afraid this is going to present a problem.
Well, then search everyone else, while we focus on getting her to talk.
Miss Willie, will you please take Mrs. Savage to her room and search her carefully?
No, take me. I'm the youngest and just the quickest. Or do you want to draw straws?
You first there. I don't want to miss anything.
Thank you. Come along, Fairy. You know, I once won an award for just the quickest on a bicycle in under 5 minutes.
Now, Mrs. Paddy, wouldn't you like to save us a lot of trouble?
Don't we have some kind of threat you resort to here?
I do not threaten my patients. Mrs. Paddy, please.
The truth drug.
Of course, use the truth drug on her.
I'm afraid it is out of the question.
Why not?
We'd have to have her guardian's consent.
Very well, we will get it. Who is her guardian?
Her husband,
And where does he live?
in Japan.
What is an absence? Haven't we any authority to act?
We have no proof at all that Mrs. Paddy has taken them yet.
I still think Willie goes to girl.
Will you stop saying that?
Dr. Emmett,
Yes, Jeff?
since Mrs. Paddy can't have her bonds anyhow, I think I might be able to help.
Yes.
Well, I took the bonds.
He's the thief. I knew we were being tricked. Hand them over, young
I can't.
Jeffrey?
I took them, I swear.
Dr. Emmett, Harry doesn't have them.
What did you do with them? Speak up.
I threw them out the window.
Go outside. Quickly, Titus. We'll watch from the window.
Stop! Parcheesi! The Royal Game of India!
Jeff, you couldn't have thrown them out the window. That window is sealed shut.
Oh.
What did you mean to do by misleading us?
Get away from him, you stupid ox!
He said he took the bonds.
Well, I happen to know that he did it.
And how do you just so happen to know that?
That's none of your business.
Miss Willie?
I had my arms around Jeff when the light went out. I wanted him to be safe.
No, she didn't. I took the bonds. No one else did.
Dr. Emmett, Miss Willie, something horrible's happened upstairs. The fire with flames this high.
Fairy, you mustn't. We've company.
Well, the flames were this high at least.
Where was this fire, Fairy?
The bathtub?
Fairy, come in and sit quietly while we speak.
In the can, I'm full of kids.
Jeffrey, if you did take the bonds, what did you do with them?
Doctor, I told you he couldn't have taken them. Of course he couldn't have. If anyone should know that, I should.
Now I suppose that you took them.
I confess everything.
There's a conspiracy then.
Florence?
I've committed this theft with full knowledge of the stigma involved.
Oh, better search her.
Greedy little man.
Miss Willie, will you please take Florence to her room and search her carefully?
Go on, Florence. I'll never tell Mrs. Savage, even if they put me in solitary confinement and burn off all my hair.
It's a waste of time to search, dear Florence.
Now I suppose you took them.
No, but I know who did.
I know fire rising.
Who did?
It wasn't Mrs. Paddy.
Who was it?
It wasn't Florence either.
I don't want to know who it wasn't. I want to know who it wasn't.
Is that you, Graham Titus?
How do you know it wasn't Mrs. Paddy?
Well, I'm not sure who took them, but I know it wasn't Mrs. Paddy because she doesn't use perfume.
Hannibal hates it.
I was nowhere near the table.
Oh, can you identify the scent?
I think so.
Well, I use gardenia. What do you use, Fairy?
No name. I make my own.
Ah, Hannibal, smell Lily Belle.
Titus, I won't tolerate this. They're making fools of us for their own amusement.
Do you smell anything, Hannibal?
Yes,
What?
smoke.
High time. I must be going mad. I smell smoke too.
Dr. Emmett, I'm afraid I found a fire in this kind of bathtub.
In the bathtub?
It appears to be the bonds, or what's left of them. Can you identify this person?
Why? It's the burnt end of a $500,000 bond.
Are you sure? Do you think you could identify this, Mrs. Savage?
Well, the treasure hunt is over. This is all that's left of the $10 million.
I should have told a lie. Somebody would have believed me.
Yes, I'm sorry, Fairy. I should have believed you anyhow. Surely there must be some way of having them replaced, Senator?
Well, there isn't.
bullying of my patients as I intend to. Now, would you be so kind as to leave my ward now?
What about the burnt piece? Isn't it worth anything? Nothing. I hold you completely responsible for this fiasco, Doctor.
I can't be poor. I don't know how.
We'll be all right. I am still Senator.
Really, though, I never intended it to end like this. Believe me. What happens to me now, Titus?
Oh, you have nothing to worry about. We would never allow you to be sent to a public institution.
We are descended.
Goodbye. You say goodbye to me and never want to see you again.
Oh, Mrs. Paddy, don't cry. I'm sure you hate tears, too.
Maybe she thinks her tub is cracked.
Did you think you could change them, Mrs. Savage?
No one changes people. One makes changes people learn to accept. I hope to make them look like fools so that they might look with understanding on the fools of good heart.
And who are those fools of good heart, Mrs. Savage?
I'd say those who gamble on people and invest in kindness, those who doubt that position means privilege or manners mean morals, and of course, the rebels with no fear of failure.
That makes very good sense.
It justifies my being here.
Would you like to leave?
Oh, they would never let me go.
No patient's commitment is final until I have made my decision.
Does that mean I'm free?
I could release you on my own authority at once, but let me get the state medical inspector on the telephone, then you will know for certain.
I'll go upstairs and pack your things, just in case. You can always unpack later.
You hate us.
What makes you think that, Fairy?
You want to leave us.
Oh, but I must.
Is someone waiting for you?
No.
Does someone need you?
No?
But you can't leave. I haven't had time to get you going away present yet. Maybe before I'm quick, it's gonna be fussy. I'll go look.
I'd like to see what I can find for you too, Mrs. Savage.
Will you wait? Come on, everybody, let's go be fine.
I think I want to give you something too. Just
Wait here now, or we won't get anything at all.
I'll try to find something useless. I do abhor practical gifts.
There's nothing in my room you would want, Mrs. Savage. Oh, but I do have something on me that I prize. My glass ring. Inside it says, "Let there be light." Something Mrs. Paddy would hate.
Oh, Hannibal, I couldn't take the ring off your finger.
Oh, but I insist. This ring has no value as gold goes, but as blood goes, it's a statistical treasure. My heart has pumped my blood through this ring every 2 minutes for 10 years. That adds up roughly to about 100,000 gallons of blood.
Oh, Hannibal, that's too much.
Oh, not at all, but I can't seem to be able to